when you make videos,
Yeah.
you have to deal with like problems other people don't deal with. Like you have these big video files, you have to store them somewhere. You run them through a process. Somebody like, can you just give me like a business, like executive kind of summary of like how, or maybe a little bit lower, a bit more tactical, like what are the challenges of basically dealing with video content in the digital form it is now for you and for like your, the businesses you work with?
The types of productions that we do range quite a bit. Sometimes we're shooting one person against a backdrop that is just a microphone and camera and a couple lights. That's one of the most simple ways that we shoot video. And then the other end of the scale, I suppose, is bigger productions where we've rented out a studio or a whole location like a grocery store and actors and all that stuff. But from like a data management perspective, that's not even an issue. Data is so cheap these days.
Mm-hmm.
And you can either throw it in the cloud, you can have multiple versions of it, backups, redundancy, wherever. That's not a concern.
I'm talking, how do you handle that, not let that become a mess?
Yeah.
Like if you have, as your company grows and you go from, I don't know, from 20 to 40 people, like, will that, like all those systems in which like, all right, we store files here, then we put it on YouTube here. Like, how do you manage that process? Like the business process of like,
managing our clients' files and our files and where does it go?
Because like, okay, so when you create video, right, you create a new type of content, right? Like you can't print it out, for example, right? You have to embed it. You can only display it on certain mediums, right?
Sure.
And breaking that down further, there's like a bunch of different places, ways to put a video on the internet. It's like, what do you see people doing? Like what kind of methodologies be employed to just manage all the intellectual property that they created when they work with you to create, video assets? Like how, or is it just, is there no answer?
Let's say we create a terabyte of footage over a 2-day shoot, maybe multiple cameras, high bit rates and all the fancy stuff, whatever. Cameras are getting 8K and 12K and whatever stupid, like, great. It's all great. But that creates more and more data. What we end up delivering to our clients is a very small file compared to the mountain of data that we've collected.
Right.
Yeah. So they get those. We hold on to everything.
Yeah. And how do you manage that other everything? Like, isn't that just a huge amount of like technical debt in some way?
I can show you
the software, like
boxes
it sounds like
of hard drives and so there's on-premise. That's certainly that's mostly how we conduct that. There's redundancy.
A bunch of hard drives. Fair enough.
A bunch of hard drives.
But then, okay, so what about like the work in process? So like for right now, how many, can you give me some like stats? Like how many videos are you guys like editing right now? Oh, like it can be a ballpark.
At any given point, we're probably editing 15 to 20 deliverables at any given day, on any given day.
Okay.
So there are some that are in more in a progressive state.
So your work in process is 15 like projects, I guess. Okay, interesting. So how many hard drives do you need to have like available
for
close
those
by
projects
to run those 15?
We basically there's redundancy in-house, so we've got our own copies, and then we have editors that are either remote or at their house, all remote, I guess, whatever. And they have their own hard drive, and they're working off of that. And so oftentimes we can put a terabyte of data from a shoot on a drive and give it to an editor, and they can work with that and create their own files from there.